Hello everyone, and welcome for this new video. And today we will discuss the languages without plurals. Well, actually, there are not tons of them. But before we start to the languages which do not have plurals, let's just remind us of what English plural is. Well, the English plural is actually one of the easiest ones out there because in almost all of the cases you just put an S at the end of the word. For example, house becomes houses, carrot becomes carros, pen becomes pens. It's not standing there, but the paper becomes papers, and so forth and so forth. However, there are languages which do not really have a plural, but they just make the sound of the plural a little bit different. I know that happens in my dialect a lot, but I don't think it will be a smart idea to put things in my dialect, because then probably no one would understand anymore what I'm saying. But this not only happens in my dialect, this is also very common in French, which is actually quite a popular language. But French still has the rule that you have to put an S at most of the words. But in most cases in French you don't pronounce the S like at all. So French in the singular, for example, has le and la, and then they is the plural. Of course, all of these words translate to the. So in singular you would say le clé, and the plural would say les clés. So yeah, the only thing which are changed is the sound of the te, and clé actually stays the same. So une clé, deux clés, for example. So one key, two keys. But not all languages have plurals, like we discovered earlier, and one which are quite interesting, that is they are mostly the Asian ones. For example, Vietnamese, Japanese, and Malay. All these languages do not have any plurals. Japanese might be very surprising in this place, because Japanese is one of the hardest languages to learn. But it does not have any plurals. But do you really have to talk in plurals to know if to know what someone is saying? Well, yeah, it very depends on the matter of facts. And even though your language might have a plural, that will not mean, of course, that any language does need to have a plural form. And some, because that is not all, because that's the great thing about languages. Almost all of the languages have some different rules, but it is not always that hard to know if someone is talking in plurals or not. For example, if we talk about one apple, or we talk about two apples. See, I forgot the S on purpose now. But still, if someone says to you, "I like to have two apples," you would still know that he wants two apples, even though he did not pronounce the S, because he said it countable. And whenever you say something countable, more than one, of course, you know what should be the plural form, even though they do not pronounce the plural thing. So one apple of course stays one apple, so that stays singular. But two apple, you can make that plural in like two apples. Of course, that is wrong English, but it is just to give you guys an idea here. The same thing happens with guy here, with this example. For example, the guy, of course you would know that would be always singular. But if someone say, here walk this guy, well, it might sound a little bit strange at first, because once again he or she forgot to pronounce the S. But you know, like these guy, even though people do not pronounce the S, once again, you should know that they're talking about the plural form here. Like these cannot be singular, because this should be singular. So you should know in this case that these is always plural, even if you forget the S at the end of the plural form. But once again, these guy is wrong English, and you should pronounce it like these guys. But it is, once again, to give another example. Well, if we see then like, but yeah, that's not always that easy, because, of course, if someone says to, I have to let my dog out, and he has more than one dog, you would not know that he was talking about more dogs, because I have to let my dog out is correct English, but I have to let my dogs out is also correct English. So this sentence can both be singular and plural, whether if you say the S or not. So here it becomes quite interesting to know whenever if you want to know if people are talking about plural form or whatnot. So it would be really hard to know that in Japanese, because in Japanese you would say I have to let my uni out. Of no, I'm sorry, I have to let my uni out. I have to let my uni out. Yeah, that is it. So yeah, here this means uni. So singular, but plural also uni. So yeah, so you kind of have to. So that makes you kind of have to see if this guy or this girl has one or more dogs, to know before if he or she is talking about the plural form or not. So yeah, this might be quite hard. It can be possible that they do point out a little bit in their speaking, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, it is also, of course, it is also possible to say I have to let my 2 dogs out, or I have to let my 3 dogs out. So you would know that it would be plural. So yeah, there goes that. Of course, it can happen with a lot of things, because it is not standing here. But if you want to say I have shirts in my closet, and you don't know really how to say it in plural form in Japanese, you can of course also say I have like 10 shirts in my closet. But then again, it would be very weird to count everything before you say the plural form. But this just to give you an idea. So if you you don't know if you have 10 or 12 shirts, I should say you can say I have around 10 shirts, and so you would still know that you're talking about the plural form. So yeah, but yeah, this is possibly so yeah. See, that Japanese doesn't have a plural form. It does not make it easy at all. It might even make harder, because we used to know we used to use plurals. Well, that was kind of a weird sentence, but we're used to doing that. But you can also do it in Indonesian. I don't know why I put the I here, because it should definitely not be here. And if we translate dog to an Indonesian, it would translate to anjing. I might pronounce that incorrectly, but it is about that the case. So if we say in Indonesian plural, I have to let my anjing out, that would be, that would be the singular. I have to let, of course only anjing is translated here, because I have to let my English out. Is of course not correct Indonesian or English, this sentence. But to give you an idea about the plural, I only translated dog to the Indonesian language, like I did before with the Japanese one. But in Indonesian it would be possible to say I have to let my injing out, so basically saying dog 2 times, to know that you have to let your dogs out. So that is also a way of which some language, I think that might be happening in the Malay language as well, that you basically say the object 2 times to know if it is about plural or not. And of course there's no need if there are 3 dogs to say injing like 3 times, because you know if someone says the word 2 times, you should know that it is plural, because a plural is always 2 or more. So there should be no discussion about whether you should like say it 2 times or 3 times or 4 times, so on and so on. 2 times should be enough to know if someone is talking about the plural form like in any case. So, but of course it would be a little bit weird in English to say I have to let my dog out, because then people would probably look really weird from why are you saying dog twice, why not just saying dogs, because that is how the English plural works. But yeah, like Indonesian, you basically say the object, you say it well, not in all of the cases, because not all words in Indonesian does actually have plural forms. But in a lot of the cases in Indonesian, you just say the object. You just say the object twice, of which you want to call it in plural. But of course, that does not happen like at all in both Japanese and Vietnamese. And also to help one thing out the world, because you might now think, hey, why is Chinese not on this list? But that is actually because Chinese is actually one of the Asian languages that does have a plural form. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm not entirely sure what we do next week yet, I have to think about that. Oh wait, I know what I will do next week. Next week I will try to try to make a video to see about how similar Japanese and Chinese are. So for now, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully till next week.